Hi basketball fans, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this story, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment right now because what you're about to hear is shaking the SEC and dividing women's basketball fans nationwide. This isn't just about wins and losses. This isn't just about a player. This is about power, pride, pressure, and two of the most dominant coaches in the sport standing on opposite sides of chaos. Because right now, LSU is reeling. Back-to-back SEC losses have exposed cracks nobody expected. MiLaysia Fulwiley is at the center of the storm. And Dawn Staley, whether she says a word or not, is looming over Baton Rouge like a shadow that won't go away. So stay locked in until the end, because this story isn't what you think it is, and the ending might change how you see the SEC forever. For years, Dawn Staley has built South Carolina on one principle: stability under pressure. When the lights get bright, when expectations rise, when egos threaten chemistry, her program doesn't flinch. That culture didn't happen by accident. It was forged through trust, accountability, and a clear understanding of roles. That's why when MiLaysia Fulwiley exploded onto the national stage, she didn't just represent talent, she represented trust earned. A guard with creativity, fearlessness, and star power, Fulwiley became a symbol of South Carolina's future and present at the same time. Big moments never scared her. Tight games never rattled her. And when South Carolina needed a spark, she delivered. So when Fulwiley ended up at LSU, it wasn't just another transfer. It was a statement move inside the most ruthless conference in women's basketball. Kim Mulkey didn't just add a player. She added expectations. LSU fans expected instant dominance. Analysts expected fireworks. Social media expected headlines. And Fulwiley? She was suddenly expected to be everything, everywhere, all at once: scorer, closer, emotional engine, and savior. But here's the thing about pressure: it doesn't care how talented you are. LSU entered SEC play carrying the weight of championship expectations, but what followed shocked everyone. Missed rotations. Late game confusion. Offensive possessions that looked rushed instead of ruthless. And then came the losses. One. Then another. Back-to-back SEC defeats that sent LSU spiraling into uncomfortable conversations. That's when the narrative turned. Suddenly, fingers started pointing. Fans questioned rotations. Commentators dissected body language. And MiLaysia Fulwiley, fairly or unfairly, found herself right in the middle of the storm. This is where Dawn Staley's presence becomes impossible to ignore. Because while LSU was unraveling publicly, South Carolina was doing what it always does: winning quietly, correcting internally, and protecting its players. No chaos. No panic. No public frustration. Just structure. And that contrast? It spoke louder than any quote ever could. Around the league, whispers started spreading. People began comparing how Fulwiley looked now versus how she looked before. How she moved with freedom, not pressure. How her confidence seemed fueled, not forced. And that's when the debate exploded, not because Dawn Staley attacked Kim Mulkey, but because she didn't have to. Sometimes silence is the loudest response. Mulkey's fiery style has always thrived on confrontation. She coaches with intensity, emotion, and blunt honesty. When things are going right, that energy fuels dominance. But when things go wrong, it magnifies every crack. LSU's struggles didn't just expose basketball issues, they exposed identity questions. Who leads when momentum swings? Who settles the team when emotions spike? And where does a player like Fulwiley fit when expectations collide with reality? That's the difference between a program built on patience and one built on urgency. Dawn Staley's system gives players room to grow without suffocating them. Mistakes are corrected, not broadcast. Confidence is nurtured, not demanded. And that culture becomes a shield when adversity hits. LSU, on the other hand, was suddenly dealing with adversity under a spotlight that never turns. Every possession became a debate. Every substitution became a storyline. Every loss became evidence for critics waiting to pounce. And here's the uncomfortable truth: Fulwiley didn't fail LSU. LSU failed to protect Fulwiley from the noise. That's where the real tension lies. Not in a direct quote. Not in a press conference jab. But in the contrast between two philosophies colliding under pressure. As the losses piled up, fans didn't just question the players, they questioned the system. Could LSU balance star power with structure? Could Mulkey adapt without losing her edge? And could Fulwiley thrive in chaos the same way she thrived in calm? Meanwhile, South Carolina kept rolling. And every win felt like a reminder. Not a taunt. Not a message. Just a mirror. The SEC doesn't forgive weakness. It doesn't wait for adjustments. And it definitely doesn't care about preseason hype. Right now, LSU is learning that lesson the hard way. And Fulwiley? She's learning that talent alone isn't enough. Environment matters. Leadership matters. And stability under pressure matters more than highlights ever will. As this season continues, the tension isn't going away. If anything, it's building. Because if LSU figures it out, this story flips fast. But if the chaos continues, the questions will get louder, and the comparisons to Dawn Staley's program will only grow sharper. So the real question isn't whether Dawn Staley blasted Kim. The real question is this: which culture survives the storm? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was this inevitable, or is LSU about to turn the corner? Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this story, because the SEC drama is far from over. And trust me, the next chapter is going to be even louder.